What if staying organized had nothing to do with finding the perfect system? Hey, thanks for sticking with this series. Over the last 10 videos, we have covered everything from finding digital products after a health scare to creating your first product, getting your first sale, avoiding the biggest mistake, generating ideas, building without burning out, growing your audience, email, pricing, and using AI without overwhelm. Today, I want to talk about something that does not get talked about enough. How do you actually stay organized as you start building more than one thing at a time? And I want to be honest with you right away. What I use is not some fancy system. It is still simple, and I am still learning to keep things cleaner as I build. So before we get into it, have you ever started with one simple idea and then a few weeks later found yourself with ideas, files, and half finished things scattered everywhere with no clear sense of where anything actually was? Drop that in the comments because I think that happens to almost everyone the moment they start creating more than one thing. Here is exactly what happened to me. When I first started, this was simple: one idea, one product, one piece of content. Easy to keep track of because there was not much to keep track of yet. But the moment I started creating more than one thing at a time, things changed. I had video ideas, product ideas, thumbnails, website updates, scripts, email ideas, AI prompts. All of it was happening at once, and it started to feel messy. Not because any single piece was complicated, just because I was building pieces without always keeping track of where everything was or what stage it was in. That was the moment I realized that if I wanted this to actually become a real business and not just a collection of scattered ideas, I needed a simple way to organize the moving parts. So here is what I actually use. Nothing fancy. I use a mix of ChatGPT, notes, and folders on my computer. I use ChatGPT to help organize ideas, scripts, product ideas, YouTube titles, descriptions, and content plans. I keep folders for things like thumbnails, product ideas, website pieces, scripts, and digital product drafts. That is genuinely it. No expensive project management software, no complicated system with 20 different categories, just a simple, consistent way of keeping track of what I am building. And here is the thing I want you to really hear today. You do not need a fancy system. You need one place to keep track of what you are building and why. That last part, the why, is actually the piece that changed everything for me. Because here is what I figured out. The biggest shift was not finding a better tool. It was realizing that my products and my content are not separate things. They are connected. Let me explain what I mean. The product solves a problem. The content talks about that problem. They are two sides of the same thing. So instead of treating them as separate categories to organize random product ideas in one place, random content ideas in another, I started organizing them around the same core idea. For every piece I'm working on, I now ask myself four simple questions. What problem am I helping with? What product or resource helps with that problem? What video or piece of content can I create around it? And where does the viewer go next? That simple connection changed how everything felt. Instead of feeling like I was creating a pile of random disconnected pieces, I started seeing the bigger system. Each product has content that supports it. Each piece of content has a clear next step. Nothing exists in isolation anymore. And here is why this matters so much, especially for someone who is building this without a team, without unlimited time, and sometimes without a lot of energy depending on the day. When everything is connected around the same problem, you stop wasting time creating things that do not actually support each other. You are not randomly making a product over here and randomly making a video over there with no relationship between them. Everything you create reinforces everything else you have already built. That is not just easier to manage. It is also a smarter way to build because each new piece adds value to everything that came before it instead of just adding more scattered pieces to keep track of. Now, I want to be clear about something. I am not telling you this because I have it perfectly figured out. I do not. This is still a work in progress for me, and I am still learning to keep things cleaner as the business grows. But here is what I would tell anyone who is feeling overwhelmed by the moving parts of building something like this. Start with one simple place. It does not matter if that is a notes app, a folder on your computer, or a simple document. Just pick one place where you write down what problem you are solving, what you have created for it, and what content supports it. You do not need categories for categories. You do not need a complicated system before you even have much to organize. You just need one clear place where the connection between your problem, your product, and your content lives. As you grow, your system can grow with you, but you do not need to solve organization perfectly on day one. You just need enough structure to stop feeling lost. If I can keep building this while still figuring out my own system, so can you. So here is your simple action step for today. Take 5 minutes and ask yourself those same 4 questions about whatever you are currently working on. What problem am I helping with? What product or resource helps with that? What content can I create around it? And where does the viewer go next? Write the answers down somewhere, anywhere. Just get them out of your head and into one place. That one simple habit will save you from the scattered, overwhelmed feeling I went through when I first started juggling multiple things at once. And if you want to see how I connect my own products and content around the problems I am solving, I have left the link in the description below. Have a look at how it all fits together in practice. Next video, I want to talk about something a lot of you have asked about: what a realistic timeline actually looks like, how long it really takes to go from nothing to your first sale, and why comparing your timeline to someone else's is one of the most unhelpful things you can do. If this video helped you today, hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. Until next time.